Good morning. My name is Srinivasulu Mamilla, pursuing PhD under Dr. NVL Narasimhamurthy sir, Associate Professor, Head of the Department of Electrical Engineering, IIT Tirupati. Today I want to give a short presentation on sensor technologies for precision agriculture. And the precision agriculture attracts a lot of technological innovation for in situ soil analysis and to develop a decision-making system. The main objective of my research is to give an engineering solution for precision agriculture. So, as part of my research, I want to design various sensors which will support the precision agriculture. And these sensors include soil pH sensor, soil electrical conductivity sensor, micronutrient sensor, and macronutrient sensor. So, all these sensors are used for quantifying the results and to give as an input to the decision making system. And coming to the soil pH sensor, as soil pH is an important parameter of soil health, it directly affects the plant nutrient availability, and also it also affects the soil microorganism activity, crop availability, and also it directly affects the crop yields. So normally soil pH is measured with a slurry of soil mixed with water, or else with 0.01 molar calcium chloride solution. Conventionally, glass electrodes are used for measuring the soil pH, but glass electrodes are fragile and it is ISF, that is ion sensitive field effect transistor. So it has some limitations with respect to measuring soil pH. That is, it has low sensitivity and a long time stability is going to be a major concern with these two soil pH sensors. So for this, I'm going to design a new soil pH sensor, so which is based on the metal oxide, that is zinc oxide, based pH sensor using the extended gate field effect transistor technology. And this EG-FET technology differs from these two technologies as the extended gate. So this part is going to be the extended gate, and it is going to be separated from the critical parts of the sensor, so that it is going to be uh, so that it is going to be separate from the critical parts of the sensor. And here the zinc oxide is going to be an amphoteric device, and it is zinc oxide is going to be deposited on the different substrates like silicon sapphire, diamond, silicon carbide, zinc oxide substrate by means of sputtering mechanism. And here, as it is shown that the top layer of the zinc oxide is going to be connected to the gate of the extended, MOSFET. So here, whenever this sensor is going to be dipped in the soil solution, the top surface is going to be having the ion exchanging mechanism. So because of that, some potential is going to be generated, and it will indicate whether a positive potential or negative potential, so whether the soil is having the acidic nature or base nature. And this gate potential, that is the generated potential on the top surface of the zinc oxide, is given as an driving signal to the gate of the MOSFET, so for measuring the actual pH of that particular solution. And next, coming to the micronutrient sensor, as these micronutrients, there are actually seven essential micronutrients that are present in the soil, and they are boron, zinc, manganese, iron, copper, molybdenum, and chlorine. And the detection of these micronutrients and quantification is necessary for plant growth, for a balanced plant growth. And uh, so the quantification of this micronutrient sensor is going to be very necessary. So for this, I want to use the X-ray fluorescence technique for measuring the micronutrients that are present in the soil. So for this, primary X-rays from the X-ray source are made to incident on the soil sample. And so whenever the high energy X-rays are incident on the soil sample, so they are colliding the atoms, and the electrons present in the uh, low energy level are going to be uh, are sorry, the electrons present in the low energy band, so will absorb the primary X-rays, and a vacancy is going to be created, and an electron from the high energy level will occupy the vacancy, so that is created in the low energy level. And because of this, whenever a transition is happening from higher energy level to the lower energy level, so energy is going to be dissipated, and this dissipated energy is going to be collected by the detector, and the dissipated energy is going to be the characteristic of that particular element. So after the detection of the secondary X-rays, so the secondary X-rays are given to an analyzer, and this analyzer will generate a graph like this, that is energy versus intensity counts. And here the peak energy gives the identification of that particular element, and the peak area or intensity under this curve gives the amount of micronutrients that is present in the soil sample. So this is the mechanism so that I'm going to use for detection of the micronutrients present in the soil, and also this is a non-destructive technique used for measurement purpose. And also by using this technique, the results will be obtained in a very less time, so that is in the order of few minutes, mostly less than 30 minutes. And next one is electrical conductivity sensor. And electrical conductivity is going to be an important parameter affecting the plant growth. So all the irrigated water is having some kind of salt that is present in the some kinds of salts that are present in the irrigated water. So whenever these salts are allowed to uh, whenever these salts are going to uh, present in the roots of the present in the roots of the plant. That means whenever these also are allowed to accumulate around the root zone of the plant, so they will injure the plants, and also they will hinder the they will reduce the crop yield. And so for this electrical conductivity, measuring of electrical conductivity is going to be utmost important. And electrical conductivity is I mean, the concentration of the salts that are present in the soil water is going to be a direct measurement for electrical conductivity. And so whenever the salts are going to be more, then electrical conductivity is going to be more for that particular soil. And here, resistivity or the inverse of conductivity is measured by two methods, that is the two-pole method and four-pole method. And here, so by using the two-pole method, so we can measure low conductivity and high resistance soil samples. And by using the four-pole methods, so we can measure high conductivity and low resistance soil samples. And next one is coming to the macronutrient sensor. So here NPK, so that is nitrogen, potassium, and phosphorus are going to be the macronutrients that are going to be required by the plants in a large amount. And these elements has to be quantified accurately for recommended use of the fertilizers. So quantification of these macronutrients is going to be a challenging task. And for this macronutrient detection, so one has to go for the electrochemical sensors. And for this for the design of these electrochemical sensors, so suitable selection of the sensing membrane is going to be a challenging task. And I will select these sensing membranes in my research. And finally, so the expected outcomes of my research is, so after the quantification of all the soil parameters, that is in terms of soil pH, electrical conductivity, micronutrients, and macronutrients, and these results has to be given to a decision making system. And this decision making system so will give recommendations in terms of the suitable crop, or else the recommendation of the fertilizer and optimum use of water resources. So when precision agriculture is
We
done.
we might just
So
need
with
you to close it out quickly if you can, please.
okay. So when precision agriculture is done with suitable crop selection, recommended use of fertilizers, and optimum use of water resources, then it can minimize the farming cost and will maximize the profits. So in this way, it will turn the precision farming a more profitable one. And also all of my so conventionally, so all the techniques that are used for measurement of soil parameters are using the harmful chemicals, but I am aiming at designing the new sensors so which do not use any harmful chemicals and will be eco-friendly. So, and now following the end of my presentation, I would like to thank you. I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my research thoughts in Global Reach 2021.